I'm Nick.
Whoa.
He's Corey.
No. Hey guys, I'm Nick and Nick Drummer 20.
My name is Corey Sipes at Kendama.
You guys are listening to Georgia Kendama Radio. This is our first video.
Woo!
We've never done a video before, and we decided since we're using YouTube, why not show you guys a video? So we're gonna be changing around locations. It's not gonna be the same thing every time. This is the first time. We're also on a phone this time. Quality will it'll be different every time. So
Hopefully
that'll change a little bit. But we're using videos now, so now you can see us, and if we look dumb that day, then you'll know. But it's cool too because you'll guys be able to see if we have guests. You'll be able to see guests. Definitely gonna have guests in the future, so that'll be cool for you guys.
Yeah, as long as the quality keeps going up and people keep coming in to watch them, we're definitely gonna keep only going upwards from there.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in a video. So today we're gonna talk about winter kendama things. I know that sounds super vague, but that's what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
We'll kind of just like go over tips for playing kendama in this weather, tips for using kendama stuff in the weather, just general stuff about the holiday, whatever. We're just gonna talk about it. There'll be a little bit of rambling, I'm sure, because it's not a super planned idea, but kendama in the winter is a little bit different. But we always want to give you guys some useful information, tips, or something like that. So let's start it off with the tip that you have, Corey, about making sure your kendama tone in the winter.
Yeah, so me and Nick were talking about this the other day, and this is why the whole topic came up. And for a second, I thought he was going to be getting the full netted Ken, and it turned out he wasn't. But the tip I gave Nick was, if you have a netted kendama around this time of year, most people know that when it's humid outside, the humidity helps break in the kendama because it gets into the pores of the Ken. Around this time of year, it's not as humid, so it takes a little bit longer for netties to break in. One thing I told Nick that you can do is you can, after you shower, you can go back in the room where you showered, hopefully the bathroom, and you can play kendama, do a little sesh while it's still steamy in there, and that'll really get into the pores of the can. And really, you should only have to do this once or twice for it to break into where it would normally. Past that is it's up in the air. I guess it's up to your own preference, but yeah, there's the tip.
Yeah, so the reason why that works, and I'm sure you understand this anyways, but the reason why that works is it's the same idea as if you were to literally pour hot water on wood. That hot water is going to go into the pores and basically expand. So it's doing the same thing with the steam. It's going into the pores of the Ken, and it's basically expanding it. And the wood itself doesn't contract back to the same way it was. So it's going to become, the pores itself, the grain, you could say, it's going to be, I guess, pulled out in a way, you could call it, or even just raised. That way, it's going to have a much more softness to it. So hardwoods definitely probably would benefit the most from it. Maple and birch, woods that we already know to be porous but still soft, they're going to really react to it.
Beech Kens too. Beech Kens I've noticed are really, really nice ones to do a couple times. Even if it's not natty, it's something you can totally do with any Ken, because every Ken's made out of wood, right? So
almost every Ken.
Well, most.
Shout out Rez, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what it would do to a Res. Probably not anything too good for the player.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever seen anyone compete with a Res when you think of it.
I don't know. I feel like they'd be a little bit on the cheap side. If you play with a Res, you know what I'm saying. Like, they're really, really good kendamas.
Yeah, they're dope. But yeah, so that's an idea for you guys to be, making sure your Kens are still honed, even though it's dry out and you're probably not playing outside as much. So speaking of playing outside, obviously it's cold out this time of year and it's a little harder to sesh. So I know that you guys, still want to sesh, and hopefully you have a club or you have a group of friends or something like that gets together and plays kendama a lot. And maybe you guys are not sure what to do right now. Obviously it's normally, players I know like to go to parks, like to go to big open spaces.
Yeah.
So, and I've been dealing with this issue myself too, is, because I host the Georgia Kendama Jams. trying to figure out places to go when it's cold. So there's a lot of options out there that you don't even have to pay for. One of the biggest resources we have as like United States citizens really is libraries. Now at first you're gonna probably laugh like, why the heck would you use a library? Like, isn't it supposed to be quiet in there? Yeah. Well, first of all, you probably haven't been to a library in a while. I haven't either. But libraries know that they're basically, I'm not saying obsolete, but they're dying out of fashion. So what they're doing is libraries all over the United States have opened up different rooms and are starting to use their resources in ways where they can make it a more of a community-based resource. So I know, for example, Chance the Rapper a while ago, he put into some of his local libraries studio equipment, so you could record in the local library. That's a thing. Like, you can actually go to. There's a lot of libraries that have availability for music instruments and stuff like that. More importantly, for Kendama, a lot of libraries have an auditorium or something like that. So when I say auditorium, I don't mean like the main section you can get into. I mean a room almost off to the side. Some of them are, I've looked and I've seen for about 30 people, and I've seen rooms for 105. And, you know, that's just in the smallest sample that I have. So libraries are definitely a good resource if you're trying to look for a free place to jam. In general, it should be very easy to set up. You just call up the library, say that you have this group that wants to use the facility. They set you up. You'll have to sign some stuff for sure. So, I mean, if you'll want an adult to sign it, if you're not over 18, sign it, make sure you're there, and there you go. You have a space to jam when it's cold out. Great. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, and you might have to shop around a little bit for libraries. I've had this problem here in Georgia where in Cherokee County, which is a county I currently live in, there's no special requirements for a group to actually do a jam or to use the library. So what I do here is I just call them up and I do exactly what I tell you guys. I did that, and I can get a turnaround in a week. As long as no one's using it, I can technically get a turnaround in 2 days. Well, that being said, with Cobb County, for example, that's the county that actually Kendama USA is in, and that a lot of pros are in and stuff like that. In Cobb County here in Georgia, it takes a full month for you to even be allowed to. Wow. And that's with already being registered with the county. That's crazy. So
it varies, I guess.
Yeah, it absolutely varies. And that's why I'm saying, like, libraries you definitely need to look into, because they can be super easy. It might be like your savior, right? But they might not. And I mean, there's a lot. Other than that, you can also look at local toy stores. You can look at local toy stores. A lot of them are going to be willing, especially if they have Kendamas. Right, they're likely to be willing to have you come in, especially if you have like a small club, so they can do something a little more official. It gets kids into a toy store, which it's like the saying goes, like putting a kid in a candy shop. It's the same thing. It's a toy store, you know. So they know people are more likely to buy things, so they're usually very down for it. The toy stores are a great place, and really, sometimes city halls are possible, public places like that, and even schools. So if you have an elementary school that you go to, a middle school or high school, if you talk to administration, maybe you have a club at the school, great, you already have an in. If you don't, but you go to a school, you can ask them, like, hey, we do this? And they're usually totally fine with even opening it to the public, so you don't have to worry about, like, if your friends go to another school or whatever, like, they're fine. You just have to make sure that someone's responsible for it. So schools are a great resource, really. So really, when you boil it down, libraries are great, toy stores are great, schools are great. Basically, anything like public use, there's going to be options. So there's lots of things you can do, so you're making sure you're still jamming and not, being too cold.
In worst case scenario, if it's, like kind of like spur of the moment or whatever, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just doing a house jam, People just contact people on Instagram and don't be shy about making a post. or even reaching out to us. Maybe if it's something last second, you know, if you're in Georgia, at least we can help with putting it on the spotlight and getting your jam a little bit bigger. That's for sure.
Yeah, and of course, if you're doing a house jam, gotta be careful. You know,
Right.
if you don't know people, then it's gonna be sketchy, obviously. But
I mean, yeah, that's definitely my suggestion is try to keep it as to the people that you know the best, and if it's going to be a house jam with people you don't know, maybe do it outside. So that way people aren't inside your house. I can see how some people don't like that, and that's fine. Like out on the porch or something like that. That's always something cool that people enjoy as well.
Mhm.
It is a little cold, but depending on what kind of weather it is or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. But now that we got the whole winter jam sesh thing figured out, if you're going to be throwing one, now we're going to transition over to where if you're seshing for a long time out in the cold weather and your hands start to get cold, start to get numb. I think you and I have both been there before.
Yeah.
If you've been to Battle at the Border like last year, it was extremely cold. It was
wasn't it negative like a couple degrees, like -8 degrees?
Yeah.
For one day, like the day of the comp, which was like -8 or -6.
And here's the thing, guys. Especially Georgia Kendama players that are going to battle. I don't think it's gonna get that cold this year from what it looks like on the weather, but
maybe it'll get colder.
Mother Nature is, it's weird like that.
I mean, we've already seen the most amount of snow in Georgia ever in like our lifetimes.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
So where I was gonna go with that is if you're gonna be seshing for long hours, or you just know ahead of time, like at Battle of the Border, you will be outside. It will be cold. Like I can tell you that for sure right now. Invest yourself in some of those hand warmers that go in your pocket. That's all I got to say about that. It's just, it really just refreshes your hand. Once it goes numb, hold on to it for a couple seconds and you'll be able to lace again.
Yeah, it especially works if you have like a hoodie or something.
Yeah.
Something like this. Yeah. Like this double-breasted hoodie or the zip-up hoodies, they often have like 2 pockets. So it's perfect to go boom, boom.
You really shouldn't need a jacket heavier than this, I would say. Battle, given the weather circumstances we're seeing right now.
I mean, if it gets -6, you're gonna put 2 jackets on.
If it does that like last year, hopefully it does.
Yeah, even in the south, like where we live in North Georgia, I mean, it's cold enough. You're gonna have to wear a lot, and if you're seshing outside, you'll shed off the layers. But wear layers for sure. Make sure you have layers so you can take off 1 or 2 pieces of clothing, so you're not like. You're sweating under this huge jacket where you could have really just had a sweater and a long sleeve under it or something.
On the flip side of it, though, since we're continuing along the Battle of the Border Pass, since it is coming up, if you're going to be actually competing, the room inside we're going to be competing, I'm sure, I can promise you almost, that it will be hot. It will start to get probably warmer.
Warm, yeah. It'll get warm with all the bodies in it.
And that's a natural thing. Like I think last year was kind of a smaller venue. It was like medium-ish size, but
it's in the same place actually.
Oh, is it really? So I can tell you right now that the room will fill up with heat, and it won't take that long.
Yeah, except for the one spot right next to the stage, it's cold. It's really weird. Whatever. Yeah.
There was a ventilation.
Yeah, I remember standing there like the whole time when I was practicing for the advanced run. It was this cold section. I had to move away from it every once in a while because I was getting too cold. But yeah. So hand warmers are definitely a help if you're seshing. And honestly, like usually it's not a good idea, but there are some thin gloves that you can like non. I have a pair where it's not enough to make your hands ridiculously warm. But it is a little comfort on top of your hands. So especially if you're living up in like the more northern states, or if anyone watching this isn't from Georgia, and you really shouldn't be having any parts of your body uncovered, there are thin gloves, and they're usually the cheapest. Honestly, they're usually the $2-3 gloves you can find like $5 and below or something.
Yeah, I would imagine that those gloves that you can use with your phone. Because they're ultra thin, I think.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good rule of thumb actually. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the one specifically that says, "Oh, it has phone technology." Like I don't have them with me, but they're in my car, unfortunately. But if they're thin enough to where you can probably, like, if you not probably, but if you can actually click things on your phone, then they're gonna be thin enough for you to play dominant. It is gonna limit you a little bit. Gunslingers can be okay, but sometimes you're just gonna lose a little bit of that feeling that you normally have with just skin on Kendama. But it's an option. It totally is. So if you're looking to get something, like, try $2 gloves.
You could go the Ash Ketchum route, just get the cut off fingers,
Yeah, you could try that. Yeah, that might work too.
Stick the pocket hand warmer underneath the glove so it keeps your hand nice and toasty.
Go like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And hey, maybe you're broke. Maybe you don't have $2 or $4. So
clearly this is a problem in Kendama. Cold hands will play. Someone has to come up with some sort of invention at some point, right?
Yeah, you just have like the fanny pack warmer or something stupid.
We'll get to that point. We're just not there yet.
Well, you could, if you don't have the money to even get the gloves or get warmers, whatever. When I was in Boy Scouts, we had a manual. Yes, I was in Boy Scouts at one point, and in the manual it showed the 3 best places you can put your hands to warm them up. And the best places are just on your armpit. What are the other 2 places?
I think your stomach, right? Because your core it has to have a lot of heat.
You can put your hand up into your shirt and on your stomach, usually around that area. And then, like, basically between your groin area, those are the 3 best places for you to basically warm up your hands real quick, if you didn't know. And
yeah, it's a good trick. I use that a lot during the winter. I get cold hands a lot. So
yeah.
It works.
And, like, as a dietary note, eat more iron. So, things that have iron in it. If you have more iron in your, as a supplement in general, you have more of the vitamin, you will be warmer. That's one of the things that actually makes people warm. And people who have iron deficiency, anemia and stuff like that, they are cold. They're more cold because they don't have enough iron. So try and eat things like spinach and stuff that's like super high in iron. Make sure you're taking vitamins if those vitamins have iron in it. But yeah, that's a serious thing. And some people have an iron deficiency even. So if you're especially cold in the winter, you might need to be taking iron in general.
Maybe I should be checking into that.
Yeah, maybe you need to. Yeah.
Maybe I learned something new today. But
get a blood test is what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding.
How do you test for that? Is that a blood test?
Okay. If you're trying to figure it out, you get a blood test. You go to your doctor or whatever. But
you heard it from Dr. Dodenhoff.
Yeah, just in general. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should just eat more iron heavy things. If you're going like super hardcore, there's stuff called black strap molasses. It's basically molasses, but it's black. Has way more iron than you probably even need. Things like that. So try and eat some more iron, and you'll probably have some good meals out of it too.
There you go. Yeah. Well, a couple minutes ago, I was talking about how I was talking to him a few days ago, and in the same conversation, I asked if Nick could bring me a can from Kendama USA.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys may or may not know, he works at Kendama USA, and I just didn't feel like ordering off the internet, so I had him pick one up for me. So I have no idea what it is. I should throw that out there. I told him just surprise me, and we'll see how well you do with pleasing me with the new Kendama.
Yeah. So Corey hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I need a Dama," and he had a lame request. I forgot what the request was at first. It was something like, "Oh yeah," it was kind of a lame Dama. So I was like, I think I can do something better and make sure it's nice and honed. So I set him up with this.
Oh, what is this? Maple?
Yeah.
Dude, that's tight. Has the Colin Sander, the Make Ways, the Dreamcatcher.
It's all signed by Turner Thorne, yeah.
Really? That's funny.
No, it's signed by Brian Skaggs. He told me to tell you that specifically, though. He's like, hey, make sure you tell him Turner Thorne signed it for you. Yeah.
That's funny. Shout out to Brian Skaggs again. That's funny. Well, open this baby.
You can open it up in the bottom.
Oh, at the bottom.
Yeah, it's already undone.
It's the worst part. I'm terrible at open boxes.
Fun fact, if you get a Kaizen, And you don't want to ruin the nice like little sticker thing on the side. Open it from the bottom because there's no sticker thing on the bottom. It's just like a little clear thing that you wouldn't even notice.
Woo! Shout out Kendama USA.
Yeah. So that is a Colin Sanders Tama, which we were sold out of right now, but I got one for Corey. We got a Colin Sanders Tama with the Kaizen 2.0 Maple pen. And if you don't know, Colin Sanders Kendamas come with a Zoro string, but that's the Zoro string in the box. So
I actually did not even know that.
Yeah, they come with the Zoro strings, and which are usually they're known as like one of the best in the game, and they're a flat string. So what it does is it basically makes it a little bit better for not hooking up, not tangling up. One of the reasons why you usually put a spinner bead in there, so that's why it's flat, and that's red Zoro string. Keeping it OG with the Zoro string, but throw that red one on there to match the top.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I like that. This is going to be my battle at the border setup, basically. That's the reason why I hit him up about a new pen, because...
Oh, I didn't even mention. The Ken is 0.4 grams off of the Tama, and the Serato is 4 grams heavier than the Sword.
I think that's the most I've ever had difference-wise. Wow, you can literally tell. It just flops right on there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Got something to sesh now.
Yeah. Matchups are so fun. But, yeah, guys. I mean, that's pretty much going to wrap it up.
Hope you guys enjoyed the new video format. We're really excited to bring it to you guys. It's something we've been wanting to do for a while now.
Yeah. We just, we just got to the point where it's like, oh, we might as well do it. It's on YouTube. And like I said, or like we said, going to be changing the quality. We're going to use a better camera in the future, and we might even get a mic for the actual camera, so it just all syncs up a little better. Editing might take a little longer, but this is the new thing, so hope you guys like it. If you guys have any comments,
put them in the comment section below.
Put your comments in the section below. We want to know what's good. Tell us what you think. If you like this, if you didn't like this, let us know what should we talk about in the future. Let us know. And guys, that's been Jordan Radio.